What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, we're in high spirits. The Eagles have protected the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts, after this week, will be the number 7 seed in the playoff picture going after week 12 of the NFL season. Cody, if you had told me how this season was going to go down and everything else that was going on, and you would say that the Indianapolis Colts are currently in the playoff picture after 12 weeks of football, I don't know if I would have told you that was true, man. I don't know if I'd have believed it.
No, I mean, considering especially where the Indianapolis Colts were a year ago. We talked about this briefly on the post-game recap of the Buccaneers game, but like the fact that the Colts, man, just think about where they were a year ago from now. Interim head coach, losing culture, no future at quarterback, just nothing. All these things that were completely broken about the team and about the franchise, and just the state of where the team was a year ago to now. It's incredible. It truly is incredible, and it should give Colts fans a lot of hope, a lot of optimism for the future. The fact that, I'm not even, even if the Colts for some reason don't make the playoffs, which, they're looking like right now, you said number 7 seed, like the fact that they have 6 wins and are even in the conversation, it should make fans feel very, very excited about the future of this team and about the future with Shane Steichen and the culture change that he's brought with this team so far. You're right, Derek. Like, if you would have told me this, a number of months ago, I don't know if I would have believed you or not. That's just kind of where the team was. But we've seen them now through 12 weeks. We've seen some good. We've seen some bad. And I mean, Derek, let's be realistic. The Colts should be a 7-win football team right now.
Yes.
They really should be. They're only a couple bad situations away from being an 8-win football team. Think about that Rams game. Like, they could have won that game easily. Heck, they were leading the Saints 17-7. So, like, there's a lot of things you could say. Like, the Colts easily could be a 7 to 8 win football team pretty easily. So, the fact that, though, that they right now are on the other side of 500, I think that's very encouraging from where they were a year ago. And the fact that they have more wins now, 11 games in, than they did all of last year and all 17 games, that's exciting, man. That's exciting and very encouraging for where the Colts are, and the fact that they just have a shot is just, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened today, guys, for the AFC, in order for this to have happened, the Jacksonville Jaguars have beaten the Houston Texans, and even though the Houston Texans have the same record as Indianapolis, Indianapolis has a better divisional record, which had put them at the number 7 seed to begin with. And then the only thing that was stopping the Indianapolis Colts from staying in the top 7 was the Bills and Eagles game. And we were waiting to put this video on hold until we found out if the Eagles were going to beat the Bills. Now, reminder, Cody, it was 17-7 Bills midway through the third quarter. And then the Eagles ended up taking back the lead. Then the Bills took the lead back again with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And Jake Elliott hits a 59-yard field goal in terrible weather conditions, a 59-yarder, man, to be able to put the game into overtime. And the Eagles were able to hold off the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills moved back 2 spaces, and the Texans moved down 2 spaces, making way for Indianapolis to be able to move in to the number 7 spot. And like you said, Cody, Indy should be at the number 6 spot because, again, the Browns we got cheated a win against the Browns. We'd have the same record as the Browns right now, and we would have won that head-to-head, should have won the head-to-head if it wasn't cheated out of us. We should be at the number 6 right now. But again, nevertheless, the Colts control their own destiny, man. We're at that point. The Colts control their own destiny. They win their games. They have no one else to blame at this point other than themselves if they can't hold out.
Yeah, and you just look ahead to their schedule real fast. I mean, Tennessee, barely squeaked out a win against the Carolina Panthers today. So, I mean, we already know we've already beat Tennessee once. And, I would say they've gotten worse, honestly, since we played them last. So, you get the opportunity to play them this next week, potential opportunity to sweep them. And then, you go against the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow. And now, they looked very, very bad today. So that's another one you have a chance at winning. The Pittsburgh game, even though Pittsburgh is, ahead of you right now in the AFC standings, I mean, let's be real, they haven't looked like anything special this year, Derek. That's a very winnable game for the Colts. And so those next 3 weeks, those are very, very winnable games. And hey, by the way, Atlanta's not doing that great, and the Raiders are up and down. So like all of the games the Colts have left, I don't look at any of those games, Derek, and say, oh, that one is going to be like really difficult for the Colts to win. Will they win them all? I don't know if they will. But what I'm saying is they have the opportunity, and I don't think I go into any of these games saying the Colts have a disadvantage, which is crazy to say, at head coach or at quarterback. I don't think I would say that, which is crazy to think about. But, like, seriously, you think about the teams they're going to play. I mean, Will Levis, rookie, not playing the greatest. Whoever the heck's even starting for Joe Burrow, the backup quarterback in Cincinnati. I don't even know who that is at this point.
I think it's Jared Browning. And yeah, I mean, you're right. When it comes to the quarterbacks, the only head coach quarterback duo that might be better than Indianapolis right now, maybe, is the Houston Texans right now. I mean, obviously, what you see with CJ Stroud. Now we saw the Steelers do okay today. Even after firing Matt Canada, I don't know how much that's going to impact the Steelers on the offensive side of things. They didn't look fantastic today by any stretch. Yeah. They looked like they were moving the ball a little bit better, but it's not like it's anything world class. Yeah, I mean, we're going into a situation where it's a bunch of guys that really can do a lot of great things. So far, I mean, you said it. You got to face the Titans, who are down bad right now. The Bengals, who are down bad right now. You got to face the Steelers, and again, that one to me, Cody, that one's probably one of the only 6 games left. I think there's only 2 games that Indy could probably lose and will lose, and that's either against Houston or that's against Pittsburgh. Because, again, what we see with Pittsburgh's defense, it's incredibly good. It's incredibly good. And that's the only reason they're winning games, is because they're facing these teams that don't have quarterbacks, and they're facing these teams that don't have great head coaches, and their defenses are just picking them apart. So that'll be interesting. But again, like I said, you got a chance here. You can sneak it up. I mean, if you go into the Steelers, and you face them and you win it, I mean, you're going to automatically move yourself even higher in the seeding.
Yep. And to be fair, like you've struggled against the Steelers, no matter what it's been, it seems like. So they're always been a team that's been tough for the Colts to beat. Now, again, you look at the new regime, you look at the new head coach, all those things, like, is this kind of a new era? So maybe some of that stuff's kind of put to the wayside a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I do think Pittsburgh and Houston are going to be the 2 teams that'll be the toughest for Indianapolis. But yeah, I mean, all these games, though, I mean, the Colts have, beat Houston. I know they're a different team than they were, but the Colts have beat Houston. They play Pittsburgh at home, which would be their other tough game. So, like, I do feel like there is some room for optimism that the Colts can definitely, here in the next couple weeks, they can get to 10 wins. I think pretty easy. They can get to double-digit wins in the next number of weeks. And I think that's definitely exciting, and especially now that the Colts kind of have that advantage over some of these other teams that are kind of all in the hunt. I mean, all they have to do, like you said, they control their own destiny. So if they're able to go take care of business in Tennessee, you only need, some of these teams to screw up a couple times, and then you're sitting pretty well. So definitely feel good about their chances moving forward. And, like I said earlier, Derek, the fact that you're even in this conversation is definitely really awesome. And I know we talked about Shane Steichen should definitely be in consideration, if not be the front runner for head coach of the year with what he's been doing with this team despite all the adversity. So definitely very achievable for this team, and definitely a lot of good things that happened today for the Colts to be where they are right now. Derek, I mean, considering the fact that the Colts had all that stuff happen and the fact that they're in the playoffs, that just goes to show you the culture change, like I said earlier, that Shane Steichen and company have brought to Indianapolis in only year one. And the good thing is, like, this team now is finding ways to win games, not lose games. In the past, we've seen them find ways to lose games. And so that's a sign, I think, of a good head coach and a good culture. And so really excited about what this team's going to do because, I mean, I think we can all say the Colts, while they haven't been perfect, I mean, I think we can say there's certain guys that are starting to step it up even more. And this team's starting to get hot. I mean, they're on a 3-game winning streak for a reason. It hasn't always been pretty, but this team's winning right now. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's fantastic to see this team winning in spite of everything else that's gone on. The Indianapolis Colts did not lose a game of football in the month of November. And, you know, Shane Steichen has said that we're now putting that emphasis on December, man. You start winning, you start deciding your future in November and December. And Indianapolis has rewritten some of the things that were going on about them. I mean, remember, Cody, we were 3-5 at one point after week 8, you know, wondering what this team was going to do. And sure enough, they have flipped the script. They are working their magic right now. And like I said before, it is all on them now. Everything that happens to the Indianapolis Colts, you control your own destiny now. There is nothing that stands in your way from a playoff berth other than yourself. So we'll see how this team reacts, Cody, with their final 6 games, one way or another, regardless if they are a one-and-done team in the NFL. I don't really care. This just goes to show you the kind of coaching that this team has right now. It kind of reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles in their first year with Jalen Hurts as a starter, you know, when they went 9-7 and then proceeded to make the playoffs. And then, you know, you got swamped by the Buccaneers that year. But, I mean, that was an Eagles team that just shouldn't have made it. But it was because of the coaching. It was because of Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni and guys like that that knew how to galvanize their players, even in a team that just wasn't ready yet, especially at the quarterback position, but were able to still squeak out wins regardless and establish a culture, establish an identity within the building. And that's exactly what Indy is trying to do right now.
Yep, exactly. And like we said earlier, Derek, the Colts are hopefully going to get back some of their other guys that missed the game against the Buccaneers. They're going to get a chance here to get a little bit healthier. Hopefully, like guys like Julius Brents, Drew Ogletree, Ryan Kelly, some of those guys start coming back in the next few weeks, and that can really even propel this team further and get them to where they need to get and ultimately make the difference in some of these games that might come down to the wire and might be tough games for Indianapolis. But I think they're getting hot at the right time, Derek. Like you said, they won all their games in November, and now this is when it matters the most, is December. If you can start piling games on games, I mean, we could look here in a couple weeks, Derek, and say the Indianapolis Colts are a legitimate playoff contender. Right now, they're still on the fringe. They're in it technically, but again, there's a lot of football still to be played. So it'll be interesting, like you said, to see the next 6 weeks and how does Indianapolis respond. You know, I thought they responded pretty decently well out of the bye week, and so how do they respond moving forward? It's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting, especially with, you know, those last few seeds, man. I mean, the Texans are still knocking at the doorstep, and the Denver Broncos, who have won 5 in a row, Cody. Don't be sleeping on the Denver Broncos, man. For some reason, they just keep squeaking out games. It's never pretty, but it's the same thing that's with the Indianapolis Colts right now. Denver Broncos, a team that were just cast out to the side. Nobody was paying any attention to them. And now here they are. They're on the fringe. And if 1 or 2 bad things happen and they win next week, then they get it. You know, so it is a fight for anyone's position right now. I mean, these top 5 through 7 seeds, one game can really change a lot of different things. And even for the 8, 9, and 10 seed right now, one game can mean all the difference as well. So if you're Indianapolis, man, you got to take 1 week at a time. I have no doubt that Shane Steichen will do that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. This is our reaction to the Indianapolis Colts in the 7th seed of the playoff picture. The Colts are officially in the playoff bracket as it stands going through week 12. Week 13 could be a whole different thing. But as of week 12, the Indianapolis Colts would be in the playoffs if football were to stop right now. So let us know your thoughts, guys, on the Colts being the 7th seed currently. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. And as always, guys, go Colts.